party. There's always a party. Let's go parlay with a beer crack on this wonderful night.
What's crack-lacking?
Okay.
How we doing out there?
hated that
Life's a party,
so
baby. Life's
much.
always a party.
I can't express how much I just hated what that was.
Having a great day.
Crack-a-lackin'?
Having a great day. Having a great week. We're just doing our thing here.
Good vibes. It's good weather out. March Madness is around the corner. I'm excited for that. One of the best gambling days of the year. You just came from the Sixers game.
Yeah.
Was that last night?
I went to the Sixers game on Monday night. Denver Nuggets.
I saw where the Sixers Twitter account got clowned for the game because Joel Embiid's going for the MVP, and he's going against Nikola Jokic, who's the defending MVP.
Correct.
And the Sixers Twitter, they were up like 9, 11 points, and the Sixers Twitter put 21 is greater than 15, meaning that Embiid's better than Jokic. And apparently they deleted the tweet.
They did.
And then the Denver Nuggets official account called them out on it. They were like, "Oh yeah, I would delete that tweet," because they ended up coming back and winning the game.
They won that game, yeah. It was a close game. It was a lot of fun. I didn't expect that much fun on a Monday night. Arena was pretty packed, which just shows you people are interested in the Sixers right now.
I say it all the time. I think NBA games are the best games to go to.
They're so much fun,
At
man.
least regular season. I think NBA fun's because you're firsthand with this and the entertainment in between quarters and the entertainment during the game. They got the t-shirt cannons, which the t-shirt cannons, they've made them where they can actually get the t-shirts to the upper decks.
Yeah, so actually, I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, we went to a Seton Hall basketball game. It was the first time I ever went to a college basketball game.
Yeah.
And Seton Hall's pretty big. They're not huge. They're not.
No, they're D1.
But they're D1. They do
Pretty
really
good.
well.
They're a
They'll be in the tournament. Yeah, they're a good team. And they play Prudential Center where I work. But it was okay, and it was nothing crazy. And because we both weren't really Seton Hall fans, it didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And then I surprised her, and we went to this Sixers game on a Monday night. And I told her, I was like, NBA is so different than any other sports league because it really is a show, right? There's so much shit going on when they're doing a timeout. The mascot, Franklin, he loves what he does is he does he's at the half court line or mid court, and he's basically doing shots backwards. Yeah. And he takes 15.
He does it for the whole time.
The whole time out. He'll try to make one. It's pretty cool. So you're watching him. Then they got the dunk squad going, and the t-shirt cans right now are insane.
I'm pissed off about the t-shirt cans.
Why?
Because all these years I've been sitting upper deck, because I used to not buy my tickets. My parents are cheap. Every time we go to a Sixers game, we're upper deck. That's where the real fans are, upper deck. The OG fans are always sitting at the top of the balcony. But I get pissed off because I finally have the money to buy good seats to get down to the lower level. But now they got the t-shirt cans where it's almost harder to get a t-shirt that's shot out of the can when you're closer to the court.
See, I was coming up with the issue where I was in that middle range. I wasn't very close to the court.
Yeah.
Where that's where all the girls, the guys, they toss them. Yeah. So it's kind of close. And then they got the guns that go all the way to the top. Yeah. So I'm in the middle now.
It's either they're tossing it or they're launching. There's no middle ground.
But it is a lot of fun because where I do work at the Devils, working a t-shirt cannon is a lot of fun. And
I bet.
It's a dream of every little kid, I feel like. Launching a t-shirt cannon, having your own. And I remember using it for the first time, just being this thing is crazy. It's just, and they're super finicky. Don't get me, but they are a lot of fun. And
it just reminds me of when the Fanatic, we talked about this on the show before.
We
don't have to get into it when he hit the hot dog machine.
Hot dogs out of this cannon.
And he hit the lady in the head and she sued him. Or speaking of hot dogs, we're going to get into our top 5 drunk foods that me and Paul like. Whew. So like we did last week, if you didn't watch the episode, we did our top 5 domestic beers that we enjoy. But this week, we're going to do our top 5 drunk foods that we like, whether it's a type of food or whether it's a place you get to go at 2 a.m. when you're smacked up.
100%.
So I'm going to go down my list first. Number 5 is my very controversial raviolis. I think that is my number 5 favorite drunk food when I'm smacked up, coming home from the bar. I like to make the raviolis. And we already addressed that. We had a semi-viral video on TikTok that people were trying to agree or disagree whether ravioli is a snack. I'm not going to go into it, but that's my number 5.
Okay.
Number 4 is the diner. I know this is probably going to be on your list. Now, I'm not one that really goes to diners when I'm smacked up. Most of the time, I feel like when I make the diner decision is when I'm blacked out. I don't remember the diner. Because when you're that smacked up, you don't mind going out after 2 a.m.
And it's more
sitting there for a while, a longer time before getting home.
And it's more a diner's clutch because they are really, if you want to go to an actual restaurant and sit down, that's the only thing that's going to be open that late.
Right.
To sit down anyway. If you don't have a car, if you were getting dropped off, you're like, hey, I'm taking an Uber from the bar to a restaurant. Like you're basically going to the diner.
And I don't know if this is accurate, but I
Okay.
feel like diners deal with crackheads on the regular.
100%. Well, it's a 20. If you really think about it, any 24/7 place. Like if you
Yeah.
go to the Walmart at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're not finding anyone normal. It's the same thing with
So
the
they
diner.
can almost tolerate our drunk asses better
And
than
they're-
like a regular restaurant that's open late.
Yep.
So that's why I feel like they deal with the crackheads. The waitresses have the patience. They've seen worse.
Yeah.
So they're okay dealing with the bullshit and loudness they have to deal with at 3 in the morning.
I really love diners. I think it's crazy because we really are spoiled here living in New Jersey, where, especially where I live right now in North Jersey, I got on the main road within a probably 2-mile radius, I got like 4 diners.
Yeah, like Jersey is big on. You know that one group? Or I don't know. We might follow on Instagram, but they go around and review diners.
Yeah, there's a group. It's another podcast actually we follow. It's called like the Garden State Podcast.
We
Shout them out a little bit.
Shout them out.
Yeah, well, we'll talk to them.
They're like a competitor.
A competitor, but
This is unreal. Paul's giving shout outs to competitors.
I'm a nice guy. We live in the Garden State, and
Blur it out right now.
I can't
We're
believe
blurring
it.
that out.
They talk about the diners, which is pretty cool.
I love the French toast chicken finger combo. You can't get that anywhere else but a diner.
Have you done chicken and waffles? at
Chicken
all?
and well, I went to school down south.
Yes.
And they're huge on chicken and waffles. I would just get the chicken and waffles and eat them separate, but they love chicken and waffles down there. Number three, I'm going with the always reliable McDonald's. I love the McDonald's 2 a.m. The problem is getting there. I'm not a
Yes.
big DoorDash guy because of the prices of DoorDash are so expensive. And I don't like because like my luck, you always see those videos where someone will get smacked up. They go to a club, they come home, they order DoorDash McDonald's. They wake up next morning and they got McDonald's on their front step, and it's oh, I forgot I ordered this.
There's some
I
great-
didn't get to eat this tonight.
Yeah, there's some great videos of people like ordering Domino's. Like he's like, I literally walked out of my dorm at 12 p.m. like the next day, and he's like, and there's a Domino's pizza on the floor, and he's like, dude, I'm so upset.
You know what else is funny is when people get like DoorDash and they get like the large soda or something, and they'll put the soda in front of their door so that they can't open the door, and if they open the door, the soda will spill over. That was just thought about the other day. I mean, you would have to probably go out your back door.
Yeah,
to
but
come all the way around.
imagine if you were in an apartment building, right, or like in a dorm room, if they were allowed to get in that far.
The soda's done. You're knocking it over.
you're
You're gonna
kinda-
be like,
You're kind of screwed.
there's
You're just
nothing you
screwed.
can do. Number two, I'm going with a similar restaurant chain. I'm gonna go with Taco Bell. I'm always
classic.
good for a chicken quesadilla and nachos and cheese when I'm smacked up. But I prefer Taco Bell is a great when you're hungover.
Okay.
That was a bad sentence. I prefer Taco Bell when I'm hungover. That's what I prefer. And then last, number one is pizza. Specifically Domino's, but I do like to come home and make my own pizza. I'm big in that. But Domino's is the only late night pizza place that's open, unless you're walking around the bar in Philly or go get Luigi's Pizza or some shit like that. But pizza by far number one, best drunk food.
Okay, that's a solid list.
Thank you.
I'll give you a solid list here.
Nachos and cheese, honorable mention.
Oh, I mean, anything you're gonna notice. Cheese is very big on my list. Number 5. I'm gonna stick with Ryan. Ryan had this on his list as well.
Just cheese. Just pure cheese.
I'm gonna say diner food, but
Diner food.
but specifically breakfast.
You love diner food even when you're not drunk.
Correct. I love
So I
going
knew
to the
this was gonna be
diner.
on your list.
I love going to the diner in general, and that's why I love New
What
Jersey.
do you order when you go to the diner? Is there a difference when you go to the diner when you're smacked up compared to when you go to the diner when you're sober? Like, do you get different orders?
I mean, a diner in general is perfect because you can kind of get any meal you want any time of the day, which is why they're awesome and why they're 24/7, a lot of them. So, usually, like when I smacked up, I like breakfast foods. Like, I love a diner because of the breakfast food. There are foods at the diner that I would also get, but most of the time, if I go to a diner, I'm going to get breakfast.
Isn't that a recent change in the industry? Like, didn't McDonald's just start allowing breakfast 24/7?
A couple years ago, but I know like certain locations don't do it anymore.
Like Chick-fil-A, can you get breakfast 24/7? Not 24/7 when it's open?
No.
I don't know. Like, why is that the case, though?
I think it's based on how they make it. You know what I mean? So if it's not like readily available or like if it takes longer to make, like they're making it constantly, right? Like McDonald's, like you always heard the thing of McDonald's, there's probably like 5 or 6 burgers like ready to go.
Yeah.
They don't like make them on the fly. That's why there's a tip for you. This is what I called her my nan. This is my mom's aunt. So this was older woman in my life that I, was awesome. And she always told me that her secret to ordering and getting hot food at McDonald's was just to tweak the order a tad. So she would get French fries with no salt. They had to make her a fresh batch.
What?
So
yeah, because they put the salt on in the whole batch.
And then she would add salt on after in the car. But the thing is, her fries were always steaming hot. And she was smart. And yes, if you're working at McDonald's, it's probably awful. But to her, I mean, it was like,
well, then
amazing.
I would think we talked about this. She probably had her food spit on a lot more than we did.
Probably.
This
if
guy
you're
wants
tweaking,
fucking no salt on his fries. What get the, spit all over it.
I'm surprised it even went that far because if you even ask for like extra salt, they just don't fucking care.
Yeah.
They don't even. They don't bother.
That's why I was thinking about Taco Bell because the orders are so specific that like I guess they don't have. That's why it's longer line when you wait in the Taco Bell line.
So if you're talking about fast food chains, real quick, this is gonna be an honorable mention on my list.
He's on number 5. He's already got an honorable mention.
Two nights ago, after this Sixers game, my girlfriend loves White Castle.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of White Castles by where we live in South Jersey, but in North Jersey, there's a few. There's still not that many. And White Castle is the surprising chain where it is, I wouldn't consider it fast food because it's not fast. Everything.
Slow food.
It is slow food. It looks like a fast food chain, but the food it takes a lot longer to make because they do make it on command, which is great. It is a positive thing. And it's the only food that I'll really sit in line for. Like we might have been in line 20 minutes.
Isn't that the place where you can order like 25
Yeah, you order-
Yeah,
or something?
because they're all tiny sliders.
But the burgers come by the crate. It's like a 25 crate,
Wasn't that like a whole
50 crate.
Wasn't that like a movie, like Harold and
Kumar really, I mean, White Castle was big, but it did really big business for White Castle having the whole mission of that movie. Like the plot of the movie is that Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. So, I mean, it's pretty cool for that brand. But honorable mention there. Number 4, first cheese item on my list, mozzarella sticks.
Great.
Classic drunk food. And if you like cheese, I mean,
Problem
you
is
can't
you
go
got to eat
wrong.
a lot of them to fill up. That's the problem.
What's a lot?
8.
Okay, that's a normal
That's like when we
serving.
go to Applebee's, you get 8.
8, 10, perfect. I don't really want more than 10, not going to be
That's
honest.
a lot of mozzarella sticks. 10 mozzarella sticks?
Isn't it funny? You just like, there was always a joke where it's like, hey, do you want 8 cheese sticks? No. How about I deep fry them? Oh, absolutely. Or how about I deep fry them and add some marinara sauce?
There's been fucking nights where I would like wake up after being hammered and be like, dude, I can't believe I had like 20 mozzarella sticks last night.
It's one of those foods, man.
Like, what are you doing, Ryan? Why you have so many mozzarella sticks? Because when it's the same thing as we talked about this on the air fryer, they're easy to make. You just dump the whole freaking bag in there and God damn it, I ate too many mozzarella sticks last night. What's your number 3?
Number 3, second cheese item, grilled cheese.
Oh,
I'm a huge grilled cheese fan. And it is the perfect combination of like greasy, but it's really not. It's got some nice cheese. It's easy to make quick. Like wherever you are, you can get it at a diner. Grilled cheese.
I think that I am the worst grilled cheese maker in the world. I don't know why. There's something like I can't figure out how to make grilled cheese because I always mess up where I like burn the bread and cheese never melts.
Okay.
So I
that's
don't know.
terrible.
I'm like messing with like the power of the flame. I'm putting too much cheese on. Every time I burn, the fire alarm goes off every single time I make a grilled cheese. So I don't know. The cheese is still not melted. I got burnt fucking bread. Fire alarm's going off. I'm waving it with the fucking towel and the pillow. Like it just never works out for me.
See, for me, opposite. I'm the best grilled cheese maker out there.
You put it on low?
I don't know. I just put it on maybe it's like 300 degrees, like maybe not too high, but like 300 degrees. I make it. I use wheat bread and I use white
Like
American
300
cheese.
degrees. What is that like on the stove, right?
No, I use a griddle.
Oh, okay. That's
Fire.
maybe that's what I need.
Is it time to wait? Hold on. Is it time to tell you that grilled cheese is not grilled? It's griddled. You never put it on the grill.
No, not a grill. I don't use a grill. I use the stove.
Use the stove. Use like a pan, bro.
Yeah.
The grill? What the fuck?
The cheese, dude. The bread would go through the grill.
I used to grill.
Um,
Do you put like butter on your grilled
Yeah,
cheese
butter,
before you put it on?
100%.
My grandmother puts mayo on it. I was like, ooh.
I know a lot of people do that.
Some people put mayo. Some people put mustard. I mean,
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Well, then there's like down south, they get really creative. They'll put like chicken fingers in the grilled cheese. They'll put like a bunch of other ingredients, like mozzarella sticks in the grilled cheese.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
Ryan
I've
can't
s-
even make the basic.
Yeah, I can't do the fucking basic.
Well, one of the main things you can add levels of cheese, right? So mozzarella sticks.
We're talking so much about grilled cheese.
Because it's amazing. Grilled cheese. Stay with us, everybody.
It's such a fucking craft
It
to
is,
get into.
and I can't get past fucking step one.
There's a few. Hold on. So there's a few things. We're talking about additions to the grilled cheese. So a lot of people add mac and cheese.
Yes,
It's like a
That's-
mac and cheese
That's
sandwich.
fucking fire.
Insane.
bacon.
You know, they add bacon in it. And then the main thing, I don't like tomatoes. Do you like tomatoes?
No,
So the adult mac and cheese is really like now we're getting mac and cheese. The adult grilled cheese is grilled cheese with tomato. But I
yeah.
hate that. It's
no,
awful.
no, no.
Wait, so little thing. Last thing on grilled cheese.
We can make a whole fucking episode out of
It
this, can't we?
practically already is.
Last thing on grilled cheese, everybody. So I texted my girlfriend right before we started the show, and we have a very popular, like our favorite grilled cheese place. It's in Morristown, in North Jersey, where we go out to the bars, and then we stop by this grilled cheese place. It's called the Melt Factory.
Oh,
So it's called the Melt
sounds like
Factory.
a good place to order grilled
We
cheese.
go there. I think it's open till 2 or 3 a.m. and we all go to the bars and then we walk to the Melt Factory and then we leave and it's like the best thing in the world, dude. And the grilled cheese super cheap. You can get like mozzarella sticks, you can get mac and cheese in it, and then they each come with a bag of chips and that's like Lay's, Doritos, like whatever you want.
I also hate. I don't think that you should order grilled cheese out
do you-
because, like, not for me, obviously, but I think it's just an easy thing to make. Why would you go get that out and pay for it?
Maybe what if you just have a craving for it? You know what I mean?
It's just like getting like meatballs and it's getting meatballs and spaghetti out when you're at an Italian restaurant.
Yeah, I can
That's
see.
easy. Why would you get that out?
I don't know. All right, number 2.
Grilled cheese,
No.
crispy.
Number 2, third and final cheese item on this list, cheesy bread.
Okay.
And Ryan put Domino's. I guess you could put, I mean, it is Domino's. So you could put cheesy bread / Domino's. But I think just cheesy bread. Cheesy bread, marinara. I think it's a step above the mozzarella sticks. It's just so good.
Yeah, I agree. I don't use the marinara sauce though.
You have to. I don't know why you don't do it.
You use
That's-
marinara sauce
that's
and
a
mozzarella
s-
sticks?
That's just a
100%,
fucking,
yeah. Both.
I don't either.
That's just a fucking sin.
Absolutely. It's amazing. And then my number 1 in my heart and in the world is McDonald's.
Yes.
I love McDonald's. It was a go-to in college. What's crazy is I didn't love it. I mean, I liked it growing up. High school, I really got away from it. I thought it was very gross. College, there's one right outside my university. I could walk to it if I wanted to.
That'll do it.
It became the love of my life, and love it.
Have they evolved their menu?
I doubt it.
They've added some new stupid thing where you can combine different meals into one, but they show it as if like it's got a filet of fish patty, it's got a chicken patty, and
Oh,
it's got a
they
Big
did all
Mac
that
in it.
stuff. Yeah.
It's got this huge thing you see, but when you order it, it's just 3 boxes. So it's all 3 of the things. You have to put it together yourself.
One last thing I'll say on McDonald's, they got to bring back chicken selects. The chicken tenders.
What?
They used to have chicken selects, and they would give you 3 or 5 chicken selects at McDonald's. They got to bring that back.
They have the
People know what I'm talking
They
about.
have the new crispy. They have the new crispy.
We
patties
can't get
now.
producer Drew on the McDonald's train because that dude practically lives there.
He lives there. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised myself. I've actually been pretty clean on McDonald's recently. One
Because-
whole month. I'm
Because
going.
you got
good.
arrested because you were there too often.
Yeah.
The McDonald's got a restraining order against producer Drew.
Stop spending your money here.
Can I get a round of applause, everyone?
Woo! Yeah.
Today, I'm excited to announce Manscaped launched their Ultra Premium Collection. Believe it or not, it's for your not-so-private parts. I'm talking about a level-up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man that covers you from head to toe. Literally. Manscaped is a trusted below-the-waist. Now trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with our code Life's a Party.
Manscaped is the best. They have the best products. I'm at the point where I'm enhancing my body routine,
Okay.
but it's better than my girlfriend's routine. And she's big with those beauty products. So she's almost trying to take, like the Manscaped package came in, was excited. She was like, let me open it. And she's like trying to pick out what she's getting. That's not happening. So what I like about Manscaped is I shave with the Lawnmower 4.0. hop in the shower. I use a 2-in-1 shampoo, body conditioner in the shower. Dry off. My favorite part is the spray, the spray moisturizer. That thing is cooling, Paul. Cool. You've used that?
Not yet, no.
Oh, the cooling spray is out of this world. You get out, you put the Manscaped deodorant on. They got Manscaped lip balm. Put that on. You're feeling like $1,000,000. I am now have a better routine than my girlfriend does.
I really like it because, I mean, I've been using Manscaped for a long time. I mean, before that, Manscaped was a sponsor of our show. And it was kind of like another product where for men, a lot of times they just need to tell you what you need, right?
Right.
Like, I don't want to go out and I don't want to shop for 10 million things like my girlfriend does or all the girls do, where I really like that they did this, where they have everything for you, like shampoo, deodorant. I think deodorant's like a game changer. It's like,
Yes.
why not? And even the lip balm I thought was surprising, but
That's spray, though.
my girlfriend always complains about my chapped lips, so hopefully this will be a lot better, you know?
Yeah, Manscaped is reliable. You don't have to go through reviews like girls do to find out what beauty products work. This all-in-one facet, everything works to a T. So if you want to get 20% off free shipping with the code Life's a Party at manscaped.com, that's 20% off plus free shipping with the code Life's a Party at manscaped.com. The power of attraction is now in a bottle thanks to our partners at Manscaped. All right, enough grilled cheese talk. We're getting into our next segment. We are going to break down some pop culture events, Paul, that have happened that are unforgettable during our lifespan. So these are like historic events that will stick with us forever. I know I'm looking at the list and I was like, oh shit, I forgot that happened. But like at the same time, it was such a monumental event in our lives. So here, the first one is when the Oscars screwed up and announced La La Land as the Best Picture winner when Moonlight really was supposed to win the prize. So the 2017 Academy Awards ended in chaos when Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway announced La La Land had won Best Picture. During the acceptance speeches, La La Land producer Jordan Harwitz proclaimed there had been a mistake and that Moonlight had actually won the night's biggest award. The culprit, an envelope mix-up where Beatty and Dunaway had given a duplicate copy of the Best Actress envelope, which had gone to Emma Stone for her role in La La Land. So they got a duped envelope that had Emma Stone La La Land on it. So it wasn't supposed to be the envelope that they took. They just saw La La Land, so they just thought La La Land was the winner, when in actuality, it was just a duplicate of Emma Stone supposed to win that role.
So what's really interesting about that, the man there, when he was reading the envelope, he stuttered. I remember the event happening. What's crazy?
Yeah, I remember it.
What's crazy about it too was that year I actually ran a Oscar pool where it was like $5 to enter, and if you picked the winners for all of the categories.
Well, you can bet on Oscar now. Like DraftKings has,
Yeah?
like, you can bet like odds on who wins. So it was even in betting terms, because betting is legal during this time, it's even a bigger problem.
So I remember my sister, who was in the room like 2 doors down from me.
Like the band.
She was going to win if Moonlight won.
Oh.
So I remember it was like a big thing in my household when we were watching the Oscars. And it was just interesting because when he opened the envelope, he stuttered. And everyone thought he was joking. Everyone's like, oh, come on, like, stop, like, stop, like, just, like, do it. Like, just announce it. And it was, and then the woman there grabbed the envelope, saw La La Land, who, clearly wasn't, and just said, La La Land, here you go. And then shit hit the fan.
So he was going to say it, and then she was like, why aren't you saying it? I'll do it.
Well,
La
he
La
did,
Land.
because she thought something happened, which clearly it did.
Yeah.
It clearly happened where he realized the mistake of the envelope, but didn't want to say it.
And this is the pivotal part of the Oscars. Like, this is Best Picture.
This is what people stay for the 3-hour ceremony for.
But from what I remember from it is that the cast went up on stage, right?
So, I mean,
I
La La
haven't watched
Land,
it back before the show, but what I remember is that I thought that both casts ended up on the stage all at once.
So La La Land, they did. La La Land was on the stage because they thought they'd won. They realized the envelope mix-up. This guy, Jordan grabbed it, realized that the envelope was wrong, opened the real envelope, saw the winner, put it to the camera. It said Moonlight. Moonlight was like, oh, shit, came up on stage, and you had both casts up on stage. And then I think Jimmy Kimmel, who was the host that year, said something, and then the broadcast ended.
This is what it reminds me of when Steve Harvey had the blunder at Miss Universe, and he said the wrong name.
He announced the wrong winner, yeah.
but it wasn't his fault. It was what was on the teleprompter.
Correct. Yeah, that one wasn't his fault.
But didn't he come out and say like that's my fault?
I don't know.
I don't remember the details, but just remember because it was like
Same idea.
It's like those two things. Like everyone remembers these two award nights where the winner was. I mean, for the best picture, it's not too bad. Like, yeah, you want to win that, but Miss Universe, these ladies are training all their lives. They're going through these pageants. They made it to the finals. This girl had her moment as if she thought she won. And everyone, I don't think it was Hawaii, maybe. It's like off the top of my head. And this girl is going through all the motions of winning. And Harvey's like, I'm sorry, there has been a mistake. She is not the winner. Like, that is tough for him.
And then for both of those girls, right? Even the winner, it feels as though she didn't get her moment.
Didn't they like break off? No, I don't know.
No,
That's Mean Girls.
That's Mean Girls. You were like, no, that's when Katie Heron breaks the tiara and gives it to everybody in the movie Mean Girls. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't work out for both of those women. It's just
that's such
awful.
a big fuck up, though. You can't fuck that up.
No. Next one we got here in the game world, in the app space, when the creator of Flappy Bird announced he was pulling the game from the App Store right when it was at its peak of popularity. So Flappy Bird, everyone remembers the famous app, the game Flappy Bird.
Yeah, like we remember Temple Run, Fun Run, but Flappy Bird, top of that list.
Flappy Bird was the game that shot to the top of the App Store. Everyone you knew in your school was playing it, and everyone was playing it nonstop. It was really became that most famous addicting game.
What's your highest score on Flappy Bird? And it's happening during class, during
Everywhere.
lunch, recess. It was a phenomenon.
And it just got so big where the creator, I remember this happening too, took it off the App Store. He was like, hey, this is like insane. I can't take this right now. We're going to drop it from the App Store. And
well, what couldn't he take?
I don't know. It was just maybe it was just going too hard.
Like,
the game.
imagine making this game as having the most success that you could ever imagine, and then right when it's at its peak of success, you take it down.
Yeah.
But it's not for negativity, or I forget what producer Drew was trying. Well, chime in here, producer Drew.
I was like, this was around the time that it actually was taken off. I was made aware that he took it off because people were hacking the game to be on the top of the leaderboards.
Oh, so he felt like there wasn't like any authenticity or
I
credibility.
could be 100% wrong about it, but like, yeah, that was what I was made aware was the reason.
I always thought people were like losing their shit over it, where they were going too hard and it became like a mental thing for everyone else. And then he was attacked and felt responsible because he created it.
Oh, so it's like,
that's
these
why he
kids
took it
aren't
off.
paying attention in school. They're not doing their homework. They're not going outside and playing. So he felt responsible for that.
Well, it's like more people like just losing their shit, like being completely addicted, like not living their lives.
Isn't it crazy how people work so hard at like a craft their whole life, and then they just like hate stardom? But it sucks though, because like you think of like movie directors, like all they want to do is direct a movie, right? And they just want to make a good, be in that art world, and they want to be one of the best directors ever. But most of those directors do not want to be like in the stardom. They don't want to do the media tours. They don't want to sign autographs. But that comes with their dream. And most people might even say like they never wanted that stardom. So it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I got a couple of answers here. One of the big ones that I got here, this is from republicworld.com. Flappy Bird was removed by its creator because he felt guilty of how addictive it had become.
Yeah, so it's like what Paul was saying.
Yeah. Just
Crazy.
It started to take over people's lives.
All right, next one is when Kanye West interrupted Taylor Swift's acceptance speech at the 2009 VMAs. We all know this one. So the Taylor-Kanye drama is a decade-long ordeal, but it all began when Kanye stormed the stage during Taylor's acceptance speech for Best Video by a female artist, and he went up and said, I'm going to let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time, Paul. That's what Kanye went up there and he said that. Beyonce was understandably mortified about it. She didn't have any helping hand in Kanye getting up there, and she invited Taylor on stage when she took home the best video of the year later that night. But this is just Kanye being Kanye. I actually bought tickets in college one time to see Kanye in concert. I'm completely off the Kanye train. Like, he's just an idiot, I think, at this point. But then there was this one time when he was at an awards show, and I think Taylor Swift won, and he, like, acted like he was going to get on stage to interrupt her again and sat down, which is funny. But, yeah, I'm off the Kanye train. I don't know how. So Taylor Swift won Best Female Video, but Beyonce won Best Overall Video? How does that happen?
I don't really pay attention to music videos. I feel like most people don't pay attention to the VMAs anymore, even though this was 13 years
But
ago at
music
this
videos
point.
used to be the big thing. Like,
They were.
MTV, they would just play music videos the whole day.
I mean, that's what it is. Music television, right? Like that was MTV. And
It is weird how, like, in the 2000s, like, you think of, like, Nelly or Chris Brown or Michael Jackson specifically, how big music videos were. Now, no one really gives a shit.
Michael Jackson was one of those people who really made the music video popular.
Like, Thriller
Like,
is, like,
yeah.
one of the biggest music videos ever.
Yeah, he made it into a full production. It became this movie level event when he was releasing these music videos. And then, nowadays it's an art. So like in film school, I remember people talking about what do they want to do, right? And like when I was going through the film program, I really wanted to do highlight videos and more videos towards social media. And then there's like the mainstream old school Hollywood people that want to make these films, right?
Yeah.
And they want to make TV or old school movies, right? And then you have some people too. I remember a friend of mine who was really interested in making music videos.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is a specific type of art that I would like to make, but it was very different from traditional Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Do you think that because in today's world, you kind of have access to the kind of cameras, if you have the money, you have access to the kind of cameras and resources that these A-list celebrities or A-list artists are having for their music videos? Do you think that's kind of taken away from the popularity of good music videos, if that makes sense? Because you find these like street rappers who don't have any following, but they sign up for this camera crew, and it almost looks like a professional music video. Is that taken away from like the popularity of big actual music videos?
I
don't
think
know.
it's just not, the art form isn't popular anymore. Like I feel like so much has already been done where people just don't love the art of, a music video. And that's why even like I watched I forget who it's Stay. It's like Justin Bieber and
Oh yeah, Kid Laroi.
yeah, Kid Laroi. So that music video, if you watch it, it's like a drone. But it's like
Oh, yeah, he's on, like,
I
a
forget what
building.
type of drone that's called, like a racing drone where it's super fast. And it's like following him, but Kid Laroi's just on the street singing. It's
Yeah.
super simple, but it's a very cool video.
Well, like last thing on this is like people used to pay for the music video. Like when you had like an
Yeah.
a Nano or iPod Nano, people would pay like an extra $2.99 just to have the music video.
Yeah, you used to
Like
pay
that would never happen in today's world.
iTunes, it was like $1. It was 99 cents per song
Yeah.
on iTunes. Then I remember it was like chaos when it went to 129. But you used to be able to buy a music video. I think it was like $2.99.
I remember buying
Wild.
You would just get iTunes cards for Christmas, and you would buy like 5 songs with your $5 iTunes card.
Yep.
Now it's like, I don't know, like $15 a month or something for Apple Music. All right, next one.
Huge pop culture moment. One of my favorites. It's very recent. This is when Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, who both played Spider-Man, appeared in the newest Spider-Man film, Spider-Man No Way Home. This was just monumental for so many reasons. This was two studios really coming together, being Sony and Marvel. This was really a culmination of Spider-Man trilogies, or not technically because of Andrew, but like 3 Spider-Man franchises and the culmination of like 20 years of Spider-Man stories. And it really became like a story about Peter Parker and Spider-Man and like family and brotherhood. And it was just mind-blowing, the whole thing.
Yeah, it was very groundbreaking, I guess you could say. So how did this, because I know people are like, oh, I don't want Spider-Man spoilers. I don't want Spider-Man spoilers. But pretty much everyone before they saw the movie knew that the 3 were going to be in it. So there was some kind of sport. Like, how's that happen?
So I think it really started from knowing that the story was going to be about the multiverse.
So
And
why
this-
would they release that then? Or is that, so do you think there was a spoiler before the trailer or after the
No,
trailer?
I think it just happened. I mean, the problem with today with spoilers is that everyone wants clout, right? Everyone wants clout. Everyone wants the views. Everyone's trying to be the first. And that's why we've talked about, if you ever try to cover news, how hard it is to start to gain traction.
Yeah.
Because if you're not the first, it doesn't really matter. And that's the problem with this, where everyone was trying to be the first and everyone was trying to gain these exclusive stuff. And because there were so many eyes on it and so much traction was building because possibly this could happen, it just became spoilers everywhere.
I think that's like the disadvantage of such diehard fans, I guess you could say.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
yeah.
like even this article is like, oh, everyone cried when they saw the 3 of them on the screen. I bet you we did a poll, 95% of the people going into that movie before it even screened in the movie theater for the first time knew that all 3 were going to be in it. Like it wasn't like verified that they were going to be in it, but everyone knew that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were going to be in that movie.
So I mean, it's just Hollywood. It's so hard to keep any of that stuff secretive.
Well, yeah, you see like Adam Sandler shooting a movie in Phillies. Oh, so it's going to be with like an NBA player.
Yeah.
So you start putting the pieces together, which sucks. But I mean, there's no way around that.
So the main reason why people knew that Andrew was in the film was from a DoorDash delivery.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that's what you got to think about. How crazy everyone is. He was in Atlanta where they were shooting the film, and there's a whole interview of him talking about it, because that's really what happened. People really said, oh, he's in the film, because why else is Andrew Garfield in Atlanta right now? And he was with a bunch of friends, like in a hotel room or something, and he ordered DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever it was. And, they don't say everything on it, but the driver kind of put two and two together. They're like, oh, this is Andrew, right? Like, oh, I just delivered to Andrew Garfield. And then he kind of put that online, and everyone's like, why is Andrew Garfield in Atlanta? And it's like, no shit. Like, there's got to be a reason for it. And then, it's like, oh, Spider-Man's filming right now. And, oh, it's about the multiverse. And I bet you Andrew's in the film. And then once you create that idea, it's out there and it's gone. And then immediately you start paying attention to what's Toby doing? Where's Toby, right? Yeah. And then you see a video of him, like, in downtown Atlanta just hanging out. It's like, why is Toby in that city? Like, he could be. But what are the odds?
That's just the disadvantage of having diehard fans. Like, even though Marvel has such strict contracts about like who they could tell, what they could say in interviews, where they can go, or what can they say, there's no way around. Grubhub guy.
Yeah.
Grubhub guy just spoiled the movie. So, I mean, there's really no way around it.
Yeah.
The next one is when the world was shocked by the photos of the subpar food and lodging coming from the Fyre Festival created by Billy McFarlane and Ja Rule. This was a great sensation. Were we in high school for this? Or I think it was early college years for us. 2016 maybe?
Yeah, I think it was early college. The big thing that I remember is the orange square posted to everyone's Instagram.
Yes.
This is what made this thing blow up on social media. You had all these famous people like, I believe, Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, it was a bunch of like social media like influencers.
Yeah, and
And they were supposed to have models at this festival. They're gonna have social media influencers, but I forgot about that Instagram post.
Well, I remember when it was Hulu and Netflix at the same time came out with documentaries on this festival, and I remember watching both of them.
Yeah, they're two very different versions.
They are. They're two different looks at this same event, and I just remember them talking about it, and it was like, I remember that on Instagram. It kind of took the world by storm because you had a lot of very famous celebrities posting this orange square to Instagram, and everyone's like, okay, well, there's a bunch of people. Well, like, what's it mean? And it was that launch of this festival.
And it's a private island, so they got to fly all these people out. I mean, I think the ticket prices were outrageous.
They were like $2,000, like these villas they were paying for, these deluxe villas.
And the thing that was the problem is that they had like a travel video where it made it look like one of the most luxurious islands ever, and they're going to have the speedboats, the jet skis, these beautiful log cabins, and it just wasn't that. It looked like pitchfork, like Indian tents. They didn't have enough of food. They ran out of food there. They had the two main headliners, I think it was Blink-182 and Major Lazer were supposed to perform, never showed up. It was a huge disaster. It was like, I don't even know. Like, I was gonna say Woodstock, but it's like that's like insulting to Woodstock to even say it was like that. But it was such a big, monumental, historic pop culture event that went wrong.
It was just one of the it was one of those things where it was the biggest like fake out ever. It became such a fake thing where it really showed people, I think, for the first time where you can fake anything online. Right. You can fake anything with a video, with pictures,
social media, people that have credibility.
Yeah, and it's like,
you can't believe everything.
You can't believe everything you see on the internet.
That was like, didn't something come out recently like that? It had like Paramore, maybe even Blink-182. Did you see that? It was trending.
No.
Tickets, it was like around here. They're having a tour. I know people probably listening to this are probably going nuts because they know what I'm talking about. But I don't know if there's an update on that because they were saying how iHeartRadio was involved. I think it was. I don't know. I don't know the details, so I'm not going to get into it. But Billy McFarlane, yeah, him and Ja Rule into this. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison. If you haven't checked out the two documentaries that you mentioned, the one on Netflix, it probably isn't on Netflix anymore. It might not be on Hulu anymore. But if you could find those, it's a great documentary.
They were both phenomenal. I remember watching both.
It was like not Hunger Games, but like what's popular nowadays? It was like Euphoria. It was like the Euphoria when we were in college. It was like everyone was talking about the Fyre Festival.
Yeah.
Oh wait, am I going back? I'm going back to back here. Here we go. Back to back like Drake. The next one is Catfish. So on September 13th, 2012, Notre Dame senior and late first round NFL draft pick Manti Te'o tweeted out a heartful message. He said, "I may not hear your voice, but I do feel your presence." The day before, Te'o later told media outlets he had learned that both his grandmother had died and that his girlfriend, Lenny Kakwea, had lost her battle with leukemia. This kicked off a series of events that led to the discovery that Manti Te'o was the victim of an elaborate hoax by an acquaintance of his. So an acquaintance of his catfished him, and where he thought it was his actual girlfriend. Like, he was seriously dating this chick that he never met online. And this kind of sprung Catfish into our lives, where they now have a TV show about Catfish. And people love that TV show. But Manti Te'o was like that first famous guy. He was a first-round NFL draft pick. He was in the spotlight. I think he even played in the national championship. I think we said that. And he was in this major spotlight, and it's like, oh shit, like, this guy is normal. He's a good-looking guy, and he's getting catfished by people online. So this kind of introduced that catfish kind of world into our world, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it.
I mean,
Catfish
catfish
is a weird thing.
Yeah, catfish now is very popular. People know what it was and what it is. And but before that, I mean, you never really thought about it. And that goes again. You can't believe everything you find online. And
the word catfish was introduced to us after this, and it was probably going on before that. And to think that now it's TV shows, and I mean, obviously, neither of us have gotten catfish, but we've all seen the episodes, and they are kind of bizarre on like the reasons on why those people do that. Actually, we had a friend that catfished somebody, but I don't want to. Do you know what I'm talking about?
no, but we don't have to talk.
We're not going to address that.
Just don't
Patreon. Follow us on Patreon.
Yeah, don't catfish people, and hopefully just stay away from online dating, and make sure you know. Well, Tinder's got that new thing where they're doing like background checks,
Are they?
and they verify, to make sure you're a real person and you look like what you look like. So
But this fucked up Manti Te'o's mental health. He didn't have a good NFL career.
Bunch of
Catfish is fucked up. Don't catfish people.
next one, getting away from this. Everyone remembers when Hamilton made its Broadway debut.
Yes.
Hamilton was insane for the theater community. I remember going to Broadway actually that year. I saw another show that was playing across the street, and everyone kept talking about, oh, I want to see Hamilton. Oh, I want to see Hamilton. And I remember when Hamilton really started to gain traction and became so popular, it became one of those things for me where I wanted to stay away from it. I was like, oh, it's too popular. Oh, I don't want to deal with that stuff. It's
You're
like
that kind of guy?
yeah, it's like, oh, I'm not going to get into it. And it took me about a year to really get into Hamilton. And once I listened to the soundtrack, I listened to the full soundtrack in like one sitting. I remember it being in my kitchen. The show's about 2.5 hours long. And if everyone knows about Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda, he wrote it, wrote the music. He starred in it. He was Alexander Hamilton. And he got his Broadway beginnings. He wrote In the Heights in the late 2000s. I think it was like 2008.
Yeah.
And that was his first Broadway show. And then even after that, it won a Tony. It like won Best Original Musical. And then after In the Heights, he went back to being a substitute teacher. He was like a substitute history teacher. He taught history. And it took him about 7 years, I believe, to write Hamilton.
Yeah.
And it just showed like his difference in and how he worked, and it kind of revolutionized Broadway. And it brought this idea of like, his whole log line about Hamilton is that he wanted America's history to be told by the America today.
Yeah.
And like what America looks like today.
Like the diversity of our
And that's
culture
why
today.
it was so monumental, because the music was so groundbreaking in bringing hip hop and this different type of music to Broadway that's never been seen before. But also the cast was not what you traditionally would think of.
Aaron
as,
Burr wasn't black.
Yeah, of the the United
Aaron
States
Burr was black.
presidents.
No, he's just black because we're showing our diversity of where we've come from. So from then,
And it was just a really cool idea. Everyone thought he was absolutely insane. And if you look at the story of Hamilton and how it came to be, he told everyone this idea. He's like, I'm going to tell the American story about American history, but we're going to be rapping. It's going to be like a rap opera. And that's what it was. And it is. And it's just crazy how popular it's become.
huge cultural impact. I just
So
remember
great.
about it when it was first coming out, how tickets were sold out.
I mean-
Tom Brady couldn't even get a ticket for the damn show. That's how popular Hamilton was. And never really remembered a Broadway show being that kind of monumental where it was hard to get a ticket for weeks, months. Oh, they're sold out for a year now. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit, you can't get a ticket for this. And I'm like that with you as well, where like, not because of the popularity it turned me away, but like for me, I would rather pay the money to go see the original cast.
Yeah.
Like Hamilton, it may still be a great play. And yes, they get not the actors and actresses. What are they called? Like people who perform on Broadway.
The professional.
The professional performers.
Okay.
They get the professional performers. Like, sure, they get people who fill in who are just as good and talented, but like that, I don't want to pay for that. I want to pay for the original cast. I know that's probably out of the realm of possibilities.
Well, they don't perform anymore together, so
Right,
it is
but
impossible. Yeah.
If I had the edge to go see it, I would want to see the original cast. But Tom Brady couldn't get tickets. Pat Mahomes, LeBron, like no one could go get these tickets. That's why it was such a big monumental pop culture event.
And last one we got here, this is right in my wheelhouse. Huge pop culture event is when the Avengers assembled on the screen for the very first time.
Avengers assemble.
I remember this like it was yesterday, honestly, and it was 2012.
That was not yesterday. That was actually 10 years ago.
Yeah, but to me, yesterday. This was May 4th, 2012. I remember being on Friday. Obviously, all the movies come out on Friday night. I remember being with a group of friends. We were going to go to Applebee's and then go see the movie. The movie was sold out, and the last time we can get in was like a 10:30 showing. And I mean, at that time, I was what, almost 10 years ago. So I was what, 20, or I was 15 years old. And I remember all my friends were like, we'll just see it tomorrow, dude. We'll just see it tomorrow.
No.
And I said, fuck you. I'm not seeing it tomorrow.
You said fuck you.
I'm seeing it tonight. Like, this is the Avengers. This is my stuff. I'm going to see it tonight. And that weekend, I believe it grossed like $230 million that opening weekend, which broke the box office record domestically and I believe worldwide for the highest grossing box office of all time. And it was just an event. Everyone said, holy shit, like this is a real thing. And it broke all these records. It was a pop culture event.
Two things I'll say. I would get scared if I was going to go see this on opening night and then like the other movie theaters leaving. I'd be scared that like assholes would be like, yo, Spider-Man dies.
Yeah, all those spoilers. People do that, dude. It's awful.
Speaking of Spider-Man, I was just thinking of this, that funny TikTok, like it's almost a trend now where like it's a video of someone at the movie theater and they go, 2 tickets, please. And they'll be like, to what movie? And then the camera will show the guy in a Spider-Man costume.
They've been
like,
doing
obviously he's going to go see Spider-Man.
They've been doing that recently with the Batman. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, what movie? And he turns and it's a guy dressed as Batman. So it's classic. But that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to Life's a Party. If you really like our show, please support us on Instagram, TikTok, at Life's a Party Pod. And we're really trying to push Patreon, as Ryan kind of hinted here on the show. We do some exclusive behind the scenes, exclusive extra content over on Patreon. It really helps us out and helps continue to keep the lights on and continue our show. But that's it. As always,
Music, take us out.
peace. Thank you.
Later. Wow, that was finally smooth by Paul. I thought for sure he was going to forget to say as always. I was ready to say as always. Music, take us out.